Okay, everybody, so I have Unreal Engine open. I have this incredible virtual puppet here, and we're using the new Live Link Face, which is an app you can get at the Apple App Store. And then you can see on the right I have the iPad, and it's actually showing all the different 50 facial features, and they range from 0 to 1. So if I blink, that's a 1 on one eye. I blink on the other, it's 1 or it's 0. They set the true and false, the on and off to 1 and the 0 to 1 and 0 values. First thing we do is go to the Unreal Engine Epic Games launcher here. You want to download and install Unreal Engine 4.25.1 as the latest version. You want to come over here to the Learn tab. Here you're going to want to scroll down to this, which is called the Face AR Sample. Face AR Sample showcases Apple's ARKit facial tracking capabilities within UE4. Now we have a digital human here, so I'm going to try and set this up next, but we'll start with this. So you click on this here. And here's the sample. Now what you're going to do is you're going to click here, Create Project, and it's supported both on Mac and Windows platforms. So right now we're using it on Macbook Pro, but usually we work on Windows since Unreal Engine's so heavily intensive with the compute power. We need a PC usually to run it. So right here you would click Create Project. What it'll do is it'll save the project folder down into your files. Such as here, we have Unreal Projects in the Documents folder, and then this one we're working with is Face AR Sample 2 because we've downloaded a couple of these. So that's the project right here. And we go right there, and that's the map. So you click Face AR2 Sample, it'll be sample for you, new project, and then that's going to open up this project here. So now once you have this project open here, there's just a few things you need to do, and you can get this up and running really quick. Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to go to Plugins, and you go to Live Link. When we have Live Link, you got to make sure you have Live Link enabled. ARKit, you got to make sure you got ARKit enabled and face support enabled. If any one of those three is not checked, you're going to check it, and then it's going to have you restart the computer. But it's all checked here, so we're all set. Now in the documentation, it's really vague. Now there's only one page of documentation. There are no videos on this because this came out 3 days ago. It's extremely vague. So I need to explain how you can set this up from start to finish right now, end-to-end pipeline. There's no video. This is the first one out there in the entire world that's showing you exactly how to set this up. So what's strange about the documentation is that when you read it, it says you open up this face tracking map demo. But then it all goes on in the documentation about how this demo, if you want to run this particular demo, which is the entire demo of this project, that you have to actually build it to Apple iOS, and you have to have a developer's account with Apple. So the wordage on this documentation is just really strange, and you don't need that. That's the first thing. The second is you open up the project. What you need is you need the face animation there to get this all going, so you have to go deep in there. So what Unreal Engine should have done, since they're unveiling a brand new app in the Apple App Store, is they should have just made a simple project in Unreal and then have you be able to run it. But the documentation is extremely vague, where it said, well, you need a face, you need a rigged face, and then you get this all started. But the one that is available here you got to go get a developer's kit and you got to go build the whole thing. It's all a serious, complicated process. Well, you don't need to do any of that. So all you got to do is open up this demo here, and you go to Content, because Content has all the folders. Now, there are lots of folders, there are lots of blueprints to this face, to this body, everything. But what you have to do is you just go here in the animation, and that's what you need. Because Live Link Face can now pretty much just connect to any head and face on Unreal Engine that you have created, as long as you have it mapped out, which is a complicated process in itself, because you got to map out 50 different facial muscle features so that the eyes can blink and the face can move and the mouth can move and everything. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up Live Link Face on the Macintosh, and then I'm going to show you that screen also while I'm making this work, and I'll show you how to do it. So right now I'm going to turn on Live Link Face, and then you can see we have my face here. We have all of the different muscle positions. It's either a 0 or a 1, depending on if it's usually either a 0 or 1, depending on if I'm doing any kind of facial movement. So you have this button here at the top that'll turn the live on and off really quick if you want to just turn the live on and off. And then you may also want to and you definitely want to turn on stream head rotation, because if you don't turn that on, then the head isn't going to be able to rotate. And then you also may or may not want blend shape data. So this is without the blend shape data, or on top of the face we're going to add the blend shape data, so it's all in real time. Now, like I said, the only thing they didn't do right is when you move the head up, he goes down. When you move the head down, he goes up. But, you know, I can just switch that with the mapping, so that won't be too hard to do. Okay, so I have this all set up here. But when you get this, it's basically going to be this screen here, and the model's not going to be doing anything. The model's just going to be sitting there. Then you're going to have the live link here, but right here it's not going to say Cliff's iPad. So now it's really amazing. All you're going to need to do is go up to Windows, go here to Live Link, okay? Now, let me show you first how to get your IP address. So for the Macintosh, you're going to need to get your IP address for the live link for the Apple app. So you're going to have to go into the settings and add your IP address, because the iPhone or the iPad will be on the same network as the computer. That allows the live link to connect, so you can send the facial mocap data right to the Unreal Engine and do the facial mocap in real time. So in order to find your IP address, we go to System Preferences on the Macintosh, then we go to Network here, and then you're at Wi-Fi at the top, and you got to click Advanced. Then once you click Advanced, you have to hit TCP/IP. Then there it is, IPv4 address. So that's what you need. And you're going to take that number, you're going to go into the iPad or the iPhone, you're going to go into the Live Link Face plugin, you're going to hit the settings on the top left, and you're going to go to Live Link iPad. It's going to have targets there, and then you're not going to have a target. It's going to say add target. You're going to add the target. You're going to add the IP address, and you're not usually going to add the port. And it's grayed out as 1111, and on the documentation it shows the IP address with the port on the end. So that's going to confuse a lot of people, because you're going to add the port and then it's not going to work. So I looked around and I figured out that at least for the Macintosh, you don't need the port. At least for the MacBook and the iPad, the iPhone, you don't need the port listed on the Live Link Face app. So that's it. And then once you do that and you connect that IP address to the live link, it's live. So there's a little button at the top here to hit the live, but it's already going to go live. Now, so once you put that IP address in and you click this to live link, this is what's going to show up. It's going to say IR face tracking, Cliff's iPad, and you have a green. And that means that we're completely connected to live link and we're sending and streaming the live facial mocap data with all the different facial muscles and points right to the model. That's it. So then you're all set. Now, just to run you through this, so the last thing you got to make sure you have is when you see this live link pose here, just make sure once everything's connected on this drop down, because it may say no preset, you got to check that to connect your iPad in or your iPhone so that it's connected to the live link. Now, you can look here and you can see that this is the animation graph, and you can see what we're doing is we're taking that live link input pose from the iPad, it's bringing it in to the source pose of the model, and then we have all the calibration offsets here of all the different poses. It's the face poses, basically. So the Apple has 50 face poses, 51 different poses, really. And so everything's connected. Look at that. So when you blink, see? Left eye, right eye, head. Do a Linda Blair here. Spin around. Oh my God. Exorcist. It's beautiful. So now the hard part comes in to create a model, create a new model, and so here I'm going to bring this up so I can show you this face really nice because it's just amazing. We're going to go get a model, make them. So now what we want to do is do a lot of animation and get a lot of characters going. So what we would do is we make characters like this model, and you have to basically rig the whole skeleton so you have these 50 different facial feature points. So the eyes are separated, all the different facial points are separated so that they can all be moved and manipulated. And it's just amazing. Now the last coolest thing that I figured out is, see, this is just the skeleton, the animation here with the head, but you can now go back into the facial tracking map and the head's attached to the body here. Now the body doesn't move, and it's only a body from the arms down to the waist, so it doesn't include the legs. However, it's just amazing what you can do. And like I said, they have it available where I could add in, control mapping to the arms so that I can move the arms around, say, with the joystick, but then the facial mocap's going to be on the head. And then you can put this in the background of any kind of scene or HDRI image map or anything. So I'm happy to set this all up for you, and I'm Definitely looking for a great team, nice corporate job or a startup, something new to do innovative work. So please connect to me and would be happy to help you out and get all this started and running. And the hard part, like I said, is going to have to make characters with all sorts of different 50 facial features. And you see when we move that, we take off the face, we take off the facial mocap, take off all that data real quick when I put my hand over the camera. But I mean, this is just an absolutely amazing start, and it works perfect. See, so I have it playing up here on Unreal Engine as just playing the simulation. And they said in the documentation that this won't play because it needed to be built and on iOS, and you need a developer's kit, Apple developer account. But you don't need it. You don't need any of that. All you need to do is follow these instructions. Boom, and like that, you'll have it all set up. It's beautiful. So I'm very excited that Unreal Engine has just come out with their Live Link face. And right above me, I have the Real-Time Puppet, and I have an iPad here. So look right above me, and I'm actually right there doing real-time facial motion capture with Apple ARKit. It's funny though, the way it's rigged is you bring your head down and that brings the model's head up, but everything else works perfect. I'm going to zoom in now to show you and do an incredible tutorial. This is really the first tutorial that's ever been made of this Live Link face, because this just came out 3 days ago in the Apple App Store. It's using Apple ARKit. You can actually use a PC or a Macintosh, and there's a boy demo with a facial rig. And you have to go in there, you have to find the model, and you have to get the Live Link going. It's not that complicated, but there's just limited documentation, and so some things you just have to figure out for yourself. So I figured everything out, and I'm going to show you. We're going to do incredible live facial mocap. So I can do virtual characters, I can do 3D puppets in real time, I can do 3D digital humans, digital twins, so I could make a face, make a human, make a character, and then with the Live Link face, which just came out, professional facial mocap system, it has 50 points on the face, 50 muscles, pretty much 25 on each face, and it's using Apple ARKit. And then it's coming in through Live Link on Unreal Engine, and this is 4.25. So I'm going to go through the whole process really quick now, and then you can get up and running. Now the next step is going to be to create my own models, and the thing is with the face model, you know, you're going to have to rig every part of the face because there's 50 different muscle movements, different triggers, different actions. So you have to really put a lot of time into rigging the face properly, and then you're basically mapping it to ARKit so that when you set this up and it's live, it's all real time. The eyes blink, everything. And it's really, truly amazing. Unreal Engine's had this for a long time. I saw it at SIGGRAPH. You could walk up and do the demo. And actually they connect this to Leap Motion with the Leap Motion controller. So you go up to an iPhone and then you could do the facial capture of your face, and then you're doing this like a puppeteer, and that will move the whole character. They had another project which was a monkey, and so you'd make the monkey move around with your hands using Leap Motion, that controller, AR controller with the sensors, the little device, and then the iPhone with the depth sensor. I have an iPhone 11 Pro Max and an iPad 12.9 that I got in December right before they came out with the LiDAR version. but it works perfect. So I'm really excited about this, and I'm going to show you right now how to go through and set this all up for you. And then there is also the take recorder, so you can record the takes and then bring them in basically the sequencer, and so it's amazing. You can also connect many people with many iPhones in many different locations to do the facial mocap. You can bring them all into one Unreal project with a live link. So it's really incredible. I'm looking for a great team, and I'd love to do some remote work here. I have a great setup. So if anybody has any projects, please make sure to DM me, contact me. We can discuss helping you out on these cutting edge, innovative projects and experiments that I'm doing. Thanks for watching. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a nice comment. We'll see you next time. Woohoo! Smash that sub and the like button. Send LinkedIn connections.